This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Tasmania host Brisbane in an interesting game of NBL action because Tassie, again, they went on the road to Perth on Thursday night and got the chocolates. You had to stay up late for that one, but if you did and you're a Tassie fan, you were well rewarded. So Brisbane, they come in fresh. Tassie on the back of a big plane trip, so I like Brisbane in this game. Let's have a look at the same game multi. The Bullets to cover the 1.5, that's just a bucket. They'll get that done. Aaron Baines will be the chief scorer for the Bullets. And Josh Majette, I think he'll have a quiet game on the back of a really good game Thursday night. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Tasmania taking on Brisbane. Pulls the trigger. Yes! That's good. Baines had the seal. Nice find in the finish. Steps back. Had all sorts of room. 77-74. Plenty of time for the Bullets. Johnson. Tyler Johnson ties it up. We are headed to overtime. Doyle found a way to the basket and scores. Time for Rashard Kelly to step up. Wow. Tasmania are there. From 16 down, winners in overtime, 90-86.
Hello and welcome to the Apple Isle for the first of our Hungry Jacks NBL Saturday doubleheader. The JackJumpers are hosting the Brisbane Bullets, who are coming off back-to-back wins after an 0-5 start to their season. While Tassie, they've got a spring in their step thanks to a big win in the West. The last time these two teams met, it was an epic overtime encounter back in round 2. The JackJumpers coming out on top in front of their home fans on that occasion. In fact, both times the Bullets have played here at MyState Bank Arena, they have lost in overtime, so will no doubt be even hungrier for the dub tonight. Great to be with you. I'm Jo Healy. A pleasure to bring in your commentators now. John Casey, Damon Lowry and Pete Hooley, guys.
Thanks very much, Joe. You're the lucky one. I think per capita, the best basketball experience anywhere in Australia down in Tassie. And with the history between these two teams, well, we've got a lot to look forward to. Championship winners Pete Hooley, Damon Lowry are with me. Brisbane in the house without import Devondrick Walker, who's been released by the team, making room for a new import, no doubt. There'll be lots of speculation about who's going to step in.
Will there? What case? Won last year's MVP, parted ways overseas. Jalen Adams, keep your eyes on this. But big game here for the Bullets because they let one slip last time these two teams played. Jason Cadee celebrating a huge milestone, game 350. What a professional pro he has been, and that's just a great teammate, great person, and well-deserved. 2010, he made his debut on the Gold Coast, and he's played 256 consecutive games since February 2014. He is an Iron Man. Look at those numbers there, Damon.
Took the words right out of my mouth. An Iron Man, just a little dude who's durable, can be trusted to show up in every day, game in, game out.
The only game he missed in his career was with a broken pinky. You just got to strap that up at that point, don't you? Just trying to keep a record going.
I wish I knew that.
Well, we know Aaron Baines can bring it to the table. Sat the entire overtime period when these teams played 4 weeks ago, which was something of a surprise to many people.
Well, I fell off my chair when I saw that. I was watching that game, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. All of Australia was perplexed by that decision. But since then, this is a different Brisbane Bullets team. Bainesy's been a focal point. The NBL schedule has smiled on them by giving them back-to-back Hawk games. So I'm expecting a different Brisbane lineup today.
But, of course, last time they met, as we mentioned, a double overtime thriller, or an overtime thriller back in round 2, I should say, and Milton Doyle was outstanding, and Tyler Johnson, 6 of 7 from deep, kept Brisbane going.
Well, he hit that eventual overtime big shot, but Milton Doyle, one of the recruits of the season in terms of what he means for the JackJumpers. He does absolutely everything. He's never rushed. He's so composed. He can shoot the three. He's got incredible length. It can make him a bit of a troublesome when he's defending, and he passes the rock exceptionally well, gets on the glass. And in terms of the JackJumpers trying to find their identity and bring it back from what it was last season, he's fit into that mold. And Tyler Johnson, well, shot the three ball really well in this game, has shot it well all season. Coming off the bench, I think they still need a little bit more from him. They got to go to him a few more times.
I'm happy with Tyler coming off the bench because I like his attitude. He has the right attitude. He knows who he is. No security issues with him. He's ready to go whenever he's called upon.
Yeah, he is certainly knockdown shooter. Jack McVeigh, of course, well, he does a lot of good things in Tassie. And there you see the numbers for Johnson. He's just shooting the ball at an incredible clip at the moment. Gets to the free throw line more than any other Brisbane player as well. So he provides that punch off the bench that they are looking for. But Jack McVeigh, well, what a superstar he's been for Tasmania. And 17-9 last time they met, and 11th in scoring at 15 a game. And there you can see what he did against Perth. But the champions starting five, let's have a look at how they're going to line up here, starting with the JackJumpers.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're rolling out that same starting lineup, bringing Rashard Kelly off the bench. Josh Majette, outstanding performance shooting the rock against Perth. And everybody else just plays their role.
And the champions starting five for Brisbane. Well, this looks like a great lineup for a first five as well.
We got the Milestone man, Jason Kadee. Sobey is back to his best. He looked real good last week. DJ Mitchell, good to have him back in the lineup. Tanner Krebs, who does a little bit of everything for him, and obviously the big bang in the middle.
So we are set to go from My State Bank Arena in Hobart. It's round 6 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. And JackJumpers are going to control the tip here and will get first use of the ball. First quarters haven't been great for them. They average only 19 a game, which is second bottom in the competition, and only 11 against Brisbane 4 weeks ago here. So they'd like to get off to a good start. Doyle, the pass for Krislovic. Now Kenyon. Shot clock works to 6. They get it back to Doyle, who can't convert. Grabs the rebound.
Well, there's the presence of Baines in the middle already. That was a layup for Milton Doyle and didn't want to go near. Baines down low. Oh, he's unselfish, but that's got to be an easy two.
Sobey with it, who's really starting to develop his season. That pass knocked down, active hands. Well done again there from Doyle. We speak about him doing a little bit of everything, and there he is at the defensive end having an influence on the game. Now he's got problems though, needs help. Krislovic, McVeigh working in the Kenyon direction. Shot clock to 10. Kenyon fires unsuccessfully. Baines the rebound.
It's the shot that Kenyon's got to take, and even though that's not what he always wants to do, he's shooting it with a lot more confidence now, so he has to be respected out there.
Krebs gets it from Kadee, goes to Mitchell. Shot clock to 10 now. Krebs to the foul line, pulls up, can't convert. Baines had a piece of it, knocked out of his hands by Kenyon. Now Majette.
That's what Matt Kenyon can do, that extra possession, just getting in there to get that offensive rebound out of Bainesy.
It's McVeigh working on Mitchell, takes him down low, gets it done, draws a foul.
I see some issues early, Pete. Bainesy is the professional drops ball screen defender a la Andrew Bogut. He's guarding Fabian, KRS-One, Krislovic, and he's just camping out. So I'm expecting a lot of gaps, a lot of mid-range shots that might suit the JackJumpers.
Well, he's such a big body, and we've seen over his career, both in the NBA, but especially in the Boomers level, where he's quick enough and agile enough to be able to show on ball screens to use that size. We haven't seen it so far in the NBL. Maybe they try and keep it up their sleeve and just a few possessions here or there. Let him attack the ball screen, because let's be honest, not too many point guards are going to be coming flying off a ball screen if you've got Aaron Baines showing hard.
True.
Well, you might, but you're going to get a corky.
You'll be in trouble. You'll pay the price. So here's a chance. Sobey athletically into the paint, can't convert. Krislovic the rebound, and Majette with a chance for the JackJumpers here to expand their margin. Majette finds Krislovic rolling to the hoop. From close range, couldn't complete it, and Baines eventually puts a stop to it.
And those are the shots that Fabian is going to get. He just got to put him down.
So here's Baines putting it on the deck at the other end from close range, unable to convert.
Well, I'm a bit surprised. It's been 2 minutes and they haven't run anything to sit Baines down low. You mentioned it, Damon, that they might have been blessed with the schedule where they played 2 games against the Illawarra Hawks, who we know their struggles this season as Matt Kenyon tees up another one. That's no good. But it really made Aaron Baines the focal point in the first quarter. They just said, you know what, we're feeding you down low. If he gets a deep seal on the NBL logo in the charge circle, there is no player one-on-one who can keep him out of there. And I'm surprised they haven't done any cross-screen, any action low to just seal the big fella and let him get an easy two.
I've been saying it all year. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to evolve. But if the Bullets are going to go back to what they were doing prior to that Hawks doubleheader, then they get what they deserve.
2 fouls now on the JackJumpers as the ball goes down low. Sobey did well to reel that in. Gets it back to Kadee with the shot clock rolling now to red numbers. In close, Baines off glass. Well, it's taken 2.5 minutes, but Brisbane are on the scoreboard.
Through Aaron Baines again. That's pretty good help defense from Matt Kenyon. You're trying to meet him early. Baines, he gets anywhere that deep, you're going to back him to score the ball.
Jet exploring. Doyle short with the 3. Loose ball. Mitchell hands over now to Krebs. So the JackJumpers 1 of 6 from the field, including none of 4 from deep. And the Bullets, well, haven't taken a 3 in the game yet, 1 of 4 overall. And here's Sobey on cue, firing the 3 off the mark.
It's shots like that. Like, obviously, Sobey got so hot in transition. Got to get back on D. Sobey got so hot last game that I get it. He wants to take some of those threes. But Matt Kenyon was guarding Bainsey then. Even though he was fronting them, surely they could have been patient and really punished that matchup.
Well, this right here is where I think Sobey can be successful, getting his speed downhill, but it's normally you want Baines setting the screen.
Under pressure, Baines has to regather and just worried out of the points there. So they come up empty again.
There it is.
And a jet. It's off the front of the rim as well. So none of 5 from long range now for the JackJumpers, and 2 or 3 inside the line as Majet works on Krebs running out of real estate. Krislovic fires, nothing but oxygen. Loose ball scramble and Kadee gets after it. Bullets just 1 of 6 from the field so far. Played 4 minutes here. They're overdue, and I'll wait a little longer.
Can we talk about Josh Majet? Josh Majet just did a heat check from 2 different parts of Australia. That was a heat check from Thursday night. Just walked into one. Hasn't taken a shot yet in transition.
The 2 best 3-point shooting teams in the competition coming into this game, and there's been a paucity of that so far as Majet comes up empty again, now none of 2 from the field.
Tassie is getting everything they want, though, and I like the pace. This is how Tassie plays, and I'm already starting to look at Bainesy, and he's going to get a little fatigued, and this style might not suit him, so we could see an early sub, maybe go Tyler Johnson to try to match up a little bit better.
Here's Sobey exploring. User-friendly role for Sobey.
That's where Sobey's going to be at his best. When you've got Aaron Baines setting those big screens, those punch screens that aren't on the side where he has to turn the corner, those straight screens back to the baseline where he just gets downhill. Nathan Sobey's impossible to stop in that situation. As Matt Kenyon, he's 0 of 3 now. Brisbane Bullets are saying, look, you're playing right into our scout.
Mitchell from close range. Fade
Timeout.
provided good defensive pressure there, and the bucket counts.
Yeah, Jason Kadee thoroughly disrespected. It's one thing to follow the scout and say, oh, let a guy shoot a 3, but to stand back on the box, that's disrespectful. Kenyon still got to take that shot, but good job by Kadee by following the scout.
Well, Matt Kenyon, you've got to make 1 of 4 if you're going to continue to shoot, because you're not a shooter, but as confident as you to step into it. But he didn't score against the Wildcats. Had 9 rebounds, 4 on the offensive end. Still found a way to impact the game as well as trying to be a pest defensively. Scott Roth would have loved that.
Here's Doyle. Can't convert. Kept alive with Rashard Kelly there. They come up empty once more. So with their shooting problems at the moment, Tassie 2 of 11 at 18%.
Reckon you can shoot 18%, Case? If you had 18 shots?
That'll be stretching it, I have to say, David. Here's a chance for Kadee, exploring, draws Kelly outside, can't convert from deep, none of 3 from long range now, the Bullets.
There's a lid on one of these hoops, maybe both.
Majet bounce pass in the corner. It's Doyle an open look. He's off the mark. None of 8 from long range. Coming into this game, the JackJumpers were shooting the ball 37% from long range. Second
Here we go.
only to Brisbane as Harrison marches inside and throws it down.
Wasn't going to miss that one.
I tell you, I first thought, you know what, I don't know. Brisbane just got, they already in the zone because there's no matchup for Tyrell Harrison, but they got both bigs on the floor. Frawley's out there with Tyrell, so this is a start. This is a decision where James Duncan goes, I want to see if our bigs can capitalize against your littles.
I like it. What a difference.
And it's something Greg Vanderjagt, the assistant coach, said in the preseason. There's going to be times, once Tyrell Harrison gets back to full health, where you've got Harrison and Baines on the floor at the same time. It's just going to be what matchup works well against in the league. You've got agile bigs where you look here, Rashard Kelly, he's able to put the ball on the floor. There might not be that kind of situation. But other teams around the league, potentially so. On one end, you're going to have the advantage, but you could have a disadvantage on the other end.
Milton Doyle picks up his first personal. 3rd team foul on the JackJumpers. Brisbane with 1 foul so far, called on DJ Mitchell. 3.5 left in this opening quarter. Low-scoring affair. Sobey almost overbalanced there. Just Frolling. Again, the pass is battered down. McDaniel with it. Had numbers ahead of him as well. Kelly in traffic. To the Besto. And free throws to come.
A team like Tassie, if you're a heavy ball screen 17, This suits Tasmania because these guys jump out so aggressively. They want to almost switch it, but it is not an easy role for you to try to run a ball screen against these guys.
Here's the aiming replay. There's a little touch pass. Good rim running from Jared Bairstow. Scott Roth in the post-game press conference on the floor with Damien Martin Thursday night said that's exactly what fed into their hands from the Wildcats. Anytime they run an on-ball screen, they back their defense. Because they said when Bryce Cotton wasn't running off the down screens, wasn't getting off stagger screens, he was easier to guard as a team. Now, this is a man, Bryce Cotton, as great as he is, had one field goal attempt in the last 10 minutes because of the way Tasmania played against the ball screen.
A little over 3 minutes out from quarter time. Tassie on top by 1, having scored the last 4 points. Brisbane scored the previous 4. Here's Froling. Working on Kelly and getting it back from Kadee. Well read by Kelly. Pass was telegraphed. They cough it up once more, so a chance for the JackJumpers. Kelly started it. Can't finish it, though. Johnson tried to work it to the advantage of Sobey. Outside McDonald. None of 9 from long range now, the JackJumpers.
It's like when you're at the casino case and you're at the roulette table and you see it's been 9 reds in a row. Do you put all your money on black or do you let the red ride out?
Well, gonna go red again, based on my history.
The JackJumpers have taken 9 of their 16 shots from deep. Majette is fouled taking the 3 there, and it was well short, so they'll pay a hefty price here, Brisbane.
That's going to help. Josh Majette, 18 points in the jungle, 6 of 10 from deep, lit it up in the 4th quarter. Tyler Johnson saying that he kicked his legs out. Doesn't quite agree with the call. And Josh Majette, we know he likes to shoot those deep threes, but you don't have to be too overzealous and jump into him when he's taking shots from the car park.
Discipline, Pete. Yeah, just get a hand up. If I'm Brisbane, I'm kind of nervous, only because even though I'm up 1, we're tied up, with the JackJumpers shooting -% from the field, and it's a tie game, I don't like it. I don't feel good about it. I feel like Brisbane should be up more.
3 of 16 from the field for the JackJumpers to start. They've got 3 offensive rebounds, trying to keep the possession alive. And that round 2 game was the second leg of a doubleheader for the JackJumpers. 2 doubleheaders to start the season. Down 14 at halftime. They were 20 minutes away from starting the season 0-4. Came back, won in overtime, kick-started their season, and now look, they're on a roll. And once again, there's no reason to say they can't be doing what they did last year.
They've won 4 of their last 5 since that overtime win, including that win in Adelaide by 25.
And this is what you got to be when you're a defensive team. Even if you're shooting bad, you cannot be bad on defense. So JackJumpers like, we'll still take these same shots, they're quality shots, but look at their D. Brisbane's got 10 points in 7.5 minutes.
Harrison hands over to Kadee. They swing the ball back. They find Froling ready to go from deep. The first 3 of the game on the 12th attempt.
And it's from a man who played NBL 1 with the Hobart Chargers. He's well aware of these rims. No surprise that he knocked that one down, but it's a beautiful offensive set. Sam McDaniel, that's his bread and butter.
The mid-range, don't let anybody tell you that's a bad shot, people. If teams are going to play drop defenses like that, you're a clever guard. You can get into that key and shoot that all day.
Froling hands over. Johnson, harassed by Weeks, decides to fire nonetheless, and it was a good option. Been happening off the ball here. Kelly and Froling.
You come underneath him. If it doesn't go in, the foul's on you. Thank you.
Oh, a bit of extracurricular. Start your Saturday night.
I like the cordial exchange between the two.
Well, I don't have a lot to say to Rashard Kelly. It would have been his foul. Harry Froling's probably lucky that the retaliator didn't get caught. Just a 2-hand shove.
So a chance now for the JackJumpers in possession. McDaniel has had an impact since coming on. 4th team foul called on Brisbane in this opening quarter.
You got Rasmus Bach, who's coming out there to give you a couple of minutes. I guess he's giving Sobey a bit of a rest. They're in the 2-3 zone, so you figure I can probably hide him a little bit on D. But even when they're in that zone, Pete, they still got to contain the ball.
Well, they do, but again, it was great offense, great zone offense from the JackJumpers. Side to side, a couple of ball screens. As Tyler Johnson now going to have to sit down with 2 fouls already. Just played the 3.5 minutes, and there's going to be a lot of eyes with the release of Devondrick Walker Dean comes in as their roster spot just to fill it for now. They're going to have a look around for an import. And is it a coincidence, as Jared Weeks hasn't missed from there much all season, is it a coincidence that this happens 2 days after Jalen Adams? That's going to be the big question.
What are you trying to say, Pete? What are you saying?
He's not going to be cheap. He's not going to be cheap. Last season's MVP.
I see Sam McKinnon over there on the bench, checking his wallet to see what he's got left. Is there any change left over from the Baines purchase?
I don't think change is going to be enough for Jalen Adams. There's a couple of mortgages.
Well, the schedule certainly helps Brisbane in that phase as well. They've only got one game in the next 22 days. So they play Cairns on November 19, but they've got time to integrate a new player and some time to find someone. But no doubt the phone is working hot at the moment. This is Sobey with it. A little over a minute out from quarter time, and a seesawing affair. Never more than 3 points the margin in this game. Brisbane on top by 1 for the moment. Shot clock rolls now to 5 as Harrison gets a nice feed inside from Sobey.
I was just about to say Harrison just set a ball screen on each side of the floor, and I'm sure he would like a touch, and it was a good job, good patience shown by Sobey to penetrate and give him a nice little spoon-fed dunk.
Weeks onto the passing lane. Harrison denied that to them, and Froling gets Kadee involved. Quickly up the floor. Bark for Kadee. Fires the triple. Wouldn't work for him, and Weeks the rebound.
Good energy so far from Harrison on both ends. He got the deflection down this end as Sam McDaniel tries to eye up the mismatch here. And there he is again. Great hands.
Good
great
hustle
from the big fella. First man on the floor.
If you get caught out there on the island, if you're big, you might as well just have a crack. Just stick your hand in there. Don't let a guy just dance on you all day long.
Quite great hustle. And then first man on the floor. It took about 3.5 weeks for him to get down on the floor. But he got there and only had the turnover.
See, even James Duncan then thought, you know what, even though Harry hit that 3, I'm still nervous having 2 bigs on the court against this Tassie lineup. So he comes back with DJ Mitchell, the more agile guy.
Sam McDaniel trying to get to his mid-range and Rasmus Bark. And again, you're coming off that ball screen, you feel the defender get hit by the screen and you feel them on your back. And you want to keep them there. It's the Delhi does that so well. There's no need to extend the arm off or to push back into him. When you feel like you've got the advantage, you just come to a stop and then you explode off.
So a chance for Jason Kadee here to slow it down for the last play of the opening quarter. Brisbane in front by 3, looking to expand that. Kadee from close range, a lid provided by Tyrell Harrison. So a 5-point edge. And quarter time arrives here. We've got the biggest margin of the game so far, and the JackJumpers trailing at quarter time once again. It's Brisbane on top in Hobart. Brisbane 19, Tassie 14. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL. Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. This hasn't been pretty if you're a three-point connoisseur. Tassie, none of 11 in the opening quarter. Bullets 1 of 4 from deep. I mentioned they came in as the 2 best three-point shooting teams in the competition. We expect that they're going to improve on this, Damon Lowry.
Well, there's nowhere to go but up. I mean, you can't shoot any worse, can you? So the next one, surely, I'm loading up case on black.
It took some time to get the first one. Brisbane with a possession arrow here as we get underway in this second quarter. Shooting the ball at 53% from the field, Brisbane. Tassie at 21. Brisbane leading the rebound count. They're entitled to feel as though they're not in front by as many as they could be.
That is a great play. You're right. That is a great play. They cleared the whole backside out. They fronted Bainsey. They recognize that they're fronting Bainsey, so they clear it out, lob over the top. He should have finished that, but JackJumpers now have some issues with how they're going to defend Bainsey down here.
Well, it worked one time, so you've got to go back to it until they switch it up. And they're going to continue to front. That's not an issue. You just bring a guard high, or you try and space it out so you can get that lob. Just because a team tries their best to deny the ball down low to Baines doesn't mean you go away from it.
So game high 7-point lead now for Brisbane as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I was listening into Scott Roth there at quarter time. He was asking for more discipline from his guys, keeping the ball moving in offense, crashing the boards harder, and also picking up their defense a little higher up the court. As for Brisbane, they'll obviously be happy with a small lead here in the second quarter. I spoke to them before the game. They know this is a really important one for them. Yes, they're coming off 2 wins in a row against the Hawks, but a win here would go a long way to proving that they've managed to turn their season around.
Thanks, Joe. And Brisbane with a shot clock into single digits here, away from the rack. Baines decides to fire the 3 ball, knocks it down. Whistle on the play as well.
Oh, it's a foul, Jared Week. I'm not sure I didn't know he could reach that high.
Wow. You know what? I was thinking, you know what? Bainsey had the post up then. Sobey called it off and said, come give me a ball screen. They switch a little bit. And he kicks it to Baines. I'm thinking, oh, why would he do that? Oh, that's why. Because he can step out and hit those threes from time to time.
36% from deep on the season. He is selective with what he does, but he extends the margin now out to a game high, an 11-point lead. 6 unanswered points to start this quarter. And the JackJumpers need some offense at the moment.
This zone looks really good from the Bullets in terms of letting them settle mid-range twos like that. I know Milton Doyle knocks it down, but so far haven't done it consistently enough, which is why they're sticking in this zone.
I'd love to know from, hey, Joe, what's going on down there? I see Tassie, they used to being in front at home. What's the crowd like now that they're down by 9?
Oh, Damon, you know the crowd in this place is absolutely heaving regardless of the score. They're going to get behind their team. And from a Tassie point of view, they're hustlers. They've been down before, but they stay in games. A lead like this to Brisbane won't faze them too much, I don't think.
Well, that's why they call it my State Bank Arena case, because there's no way Nathan Sobey called that.
Outside attempt, again off the mark for Tassie. Now none of 12 from long range. First time Tasmania's not made a 3 in the opening quarter this season. And their second lowest opening quarter of the season so far. Kelly from close range. He overcooked it. Brisbane get it back once more. A chance to build on this 12-point lead.
They've tried that twice now. Rashard Kelly going at...
Look at this guy.
That's too easy, but Rashard Kelly going at Aaron Baines one-on-one. Yes, you probably have the mismatch to get around him with putting the ball on the floor, but Baines is a big, strong unit, and you clash bodies with him, you're going to come off second best more often than not.
Bainesy can move his feet, his hips, his elbows, his chest. He can play pectoral defense on you.
11-2 is the run here since quarter time. Let's hear from Jack McVeigh, who spoke pre-game to Joe Healy.
Jack, a great way to bounce back against Perth last game. What can you take from that one into this one tonight?
Yeah, we just played JackJumper basketball for 40 minutes, which is just solid, nothing special, wear teams down, play at our own pace, and Brisbane's got some fresh legs. They're going to be looking to push and transition, and we have to slow that up from the start.
You had a great overtime win against them last time you played. Tyler Johnson and Nathan Sobey were the main danger men offensively for them. What's the key to limiting their impact tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Sobey in particular is an incredible basketball player. He can light it up. Last week, I think he had 20-something in the first half, so being physical, you know, it's team basketball. Kenny's a beast defensively, so we put our trust in him and let him do his thing.
Well, he's just a terrific human being as well as a player, Jack McVeigh. And we mentioned Jason Cadee, 350 games, and Nathan Sobey said he's the best teammate he's ever had. Jack McVeigh is going to be up there in terms of teammate MVPs. Just one of those players that you just love to have on your team. Always keeps the culture high, the mood high, and signed that 2-year extension because really he epitomises Tasmania Jack Jumper basketball. Even extend it to club as well as team man, but club man, what he does off the floor and in the community as well.
There's some guys like that in the league who are just good guys, who will be in your all-star 5 good guys. You know who else I put in there?
Appreciate it.
I put in Rupert Satwell. I don't know about you. Rupert Satwell will be an all-star good guy 5.
Yep. Gets my vote as well. We're on the same page there, Damon. So let's see what Isaac White can come up with. They're trying to get someone involved from deep. Maybe he's the man to break the drought on cue. Did everything but fall. Kept alive by McVeigh. Well done. Now Doyle goes back to work. Confronted by Baines. Somehow hung in the air and made it work. That's tough for Milton Doyle. But again, another offensive rebound. 5 offensive rebounds already for the Jack Jumpers. No surprise Isaac White comes in. They're struggling to shoot the ball. Still no Clint Stein. Well, that's who you'd love to have out there anytime a team goes to a zone. Touch pass from Baines. Gets Krebs a look in the corner off the mark. Well done, Kelly, there to deny Baines on the rebound. And a chance now for the Jack Jumpers.
I just saw a sneaky move by Isaac White. In that timeout, he's behind the huddle, and he's taking those little practice air shots as Doyle gets into the key. He's starting to heat up.
You think he was just getting Scott Roth's eyesight? Yeah. I do have a shooter here.
Next thing you know, he's checked in.
It works. To over 3 minutes played in the second. Johnson goes to work. Couldn't convert, though. Loose ball. Well done, White, to contest there. Came to Baines. Mitchell, overdue. Comes up with the goods.
Hey, DJ, just play that song. Keep me dancing. Pete, you're supposed to go with the next line.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. 62% from 3. He's shooting. DJ Mitchell, that is a bucket anytime he gets an open look with his feet set.
Kelly drew Baines' attention. Feeds McVeigh. Rejected. Well done, Baines.
Baines was having none of that foolishness. I'm legitimately confused now, Pete. After what I just saw the Tassie do to Perth, not again.
Baines. Wow. Misses the target.
I feel like even though I am trusting the Tassie Jack Jumper style of play and who they are as a club, I don't know what's going on right now. They down 13. I got to give Brisbane credit.
Yeah, all right, you can't run.
Here's that Baines effort, just the second effort. He had to guard Kelly on one end from the Amy replay. And here, DJ Mitchell, his feet set. That is really looking stroke. But you're right, and right now, the only time they really look like they're getting decent shots on the offensive end is when they get a stop themselves, so that Brisbane can't set up their defense or get in that zone. And right now, there's a lid on that rim.
Only the 4th block of the season for Baines in 8 games. So a little surprising, those numbers. Here's Sobey firing and drawing a foul.
Brisbane's confidence is growing. They could have stretches where they just play reckless, almost clueless basketball at times. But right now, they got this double-digit lead. They know it's a humongous game. And they are playing a methodical kind of a style. They're still taking their potential shots from 3 from every now and then, but everybody's kind of involved. I'm liking how they're going about it so far.
Sobey to the free throw line. 94% on the season, Sobey. 16 of 17.
Oh, no.
Now here it comes.
He's already missed one, so I don't know if the commentator's curse works there, but this is unfolding very similar to when these teams played in round 2. Tassie shot the ball at 29% in the opening quarter, found themselves down 16 in the second. Here they are at the moment down 14 and growing, and they were able to find a way home from there.
They're probably thinking right now, we just can't hit water if we fell out of a boat, so let's just stick to the task. Shots will drop eventually as long as we take good looks. They're going to knock down at some point in this game. We're just going to continue to chip away on both ends, and once that happens, they'll make their run.
Sobey does extend the margin, so 16 is where it stands. It was 45-29, a 16-point lead with a minute to play in the second when these teams last played. So not uncharted territory for either team. Majep, quite in that game, needs to get involved as well. McVeigh outside, White looking inside as well. Shot clock to 3, needs to get something happening and quickly, and does.
Okay, Isaac. The old let me shoot behind the coach trick was worked. You got it yourself out there on the floor, and you're already 50% from 3.
Well, first 3 ball for the Jack Jumpers. You see there, 1 of 14. Well overdue.
It's Sobey kicking Johnson, who works inside his man against Milton Doyle.
Have we not seen him do that in the NBA for so many years? You cannot let him get on his left hand. He's got the one-legged runner down pat.
Averaging 13.5 points a game. Leads the NBL in three-point shooting, 54%.
So shot clock rolls to single numbers. McVeigh with the shorter Johnson on his back. Some work into the paint and rejected by Harrison. It's counted to goaltend.
Good read from Harrison. Maybe just a second slow, just coming on the way down.
McVeigh said, I'm sick of getting my shot thrown out of here. I'm not a sitter on the volleyball team.
Oh, awfully close, but
quick whistle.
Might have just been plateauing. I wouldn't say it was on the way down, maybe just plateauing.
Now, whistle off the ball here. Isaac White's going to be called for the foul. So his first personal. Fourth team foul now on Tassie here in this second quarter with still 4.5 minutes to play. 9-4 is the foul count overall. Brisbane haven't been called for a foul in this quarter.
That's discipline.
Well, it is, and a lot of it would probably go back to the zone as well, because they're just settling for jump shots. They're not really putting any pressure on them to foul. You can still get attacker zone by getting feet in the keyway and trying to make plays. And even still, you see them trying to go at bodies. They're fading away a little bit, not really playing through contact.
Here's Kadee exploring against Majette, lost the handle, had to go and retrieve it. Now Sobey with 4 on the shot clock. Against McVeigh, gets down low and adds another 2. Sobey into double figures.
Too easy. They are very patient. Everybody made the extra pass. Kadee didn't spray up anything crazy. Sometimes when you get a guy on his milestone game, he might try to do too much, but Kadee is just letting the game come to him.
Outside, McVeigh comes up with the goods.
Well, it only takes one. Good knockdown there from Jack McVeigh. Great pass.
So inside the last 4 minutes of the first half, Brisbane by 12 as Sobey wheels to the top of the key. Caught the 3 deep, Doyle the rebound. White charges up the floor. Jet in support as well, but Doyle slows it down. Goes on with the dribble. Drew Harrison's attention, couldn't finish it. Chris Lake tried to keep it alive, but only as far as Kadee.
Hey, Joe, when you get a chance at halftime, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but I would love you to walk right up to Sam McKinnon and say, have you called Jalen Adams today?
Damon, I actually had a chat to Sam before the game. He was pretty coy when I mentioned the name Jalen Adams, actually, so no surprises there.
Well, don't be surprised if there's Jalen Adams' phones is ringing a little bit from multiple teams around the league. I don't think Vodrick Walker is the last of the changes we're going to see in the FIBA break.
So inside the last 3 minutes of the first half, as Kadee takes on Majette. Never had good position there, Majette. And Kadee heads up play from him in game 350.
Guys, if you want to talk to me,
offensive foul.
They had called it offensive.
Because Jason Kadee did not like it at all, and I think you were spot on, Case. Never looked like he got position. Josh Majette had no look, running on the side and never go in front of it. Just a little bit of a push-off. And
so slight.
Oh, slight enough to have a whole lot of mayonnaise from Josh Majette.
Here's Majette now with it against Kadee. And McVeigh, he's knocked down one. Can't get the second to work there. And Froling did well to hold off Krislovic and grab the rebound.
That's a quality look because Terrell Harrison he's trying to show a little bit on that ball screen. And they realize that. And now the guys are slipping out the back.
That's a good little 1-2 man game from the big fellas.
They've got all the answers here at the moment. Brisbane against the JackJumpers. White takes on Harrison, who's going to be called for the foul. Continuation waved away. First foul on Harrison.
What kind of lead do you need to see, Pete, from Tassie? If you're Tasmania, you want to go down to half by. What are you looking at? So this thing is still, not out of hand.
Well, to be honest, anything for Tassie, they've shown they're just going to stick to it and grind it out. Doesn't matter what the halftime score is. Last time they played it was 14, so you can get it within 10 points, double figures. If you can get into single digits, you'll be laughing. But they always just back their system. They haven't shot the ball well. 2 of 16 from 3, 10 of 33 from the field. They always back themselves in.
Wow, another quality. What?
Trolling with a baseball pass.
Dak Prescott's the CeeDee Lamb. Touchdown.
Just spoke about the little connection that they've got.
Big to big.
Falling backwards. How's the audacity, Harry Froling?
Gotta love that from Big Harry.
Have a look at this. Just falling back.
93 feet.
Falling back, and that is an unbelievable play. NBA Bo, we'll see you in a sec.
Gotta love that. Harry Froling, ambitious, but got it to Harrison for the finishing touches. Margin out to 16.
Assist of the year.
Going to be hard to beat, isn't it? Scott Rother's got some problems.
You got to get back to being a little more disciplined. We got 3 on the ball. Just be solid in what we're doing and breathe and let the ball move and find life. And if the shots don't get in, fuck it. Let's just get a good look and then we'll live with it. But the ball's got to pop a little bit. Down the defense there, we're just gambling. Rejects, fouling. You got to be a little smarter. That's all it is. But you got to be patient enough. You got 2 minutes. Cut into the lead just a little bit.
Spot on. Scott Roth. He's upset because that's not the way they play defense. They don't gamble. They play straight up. They trust each other. And as soon as one man breaks off from the system and tries to gamble, then someone else has to come across and help. And then all of a sudden they're playing at a disadvantage.
Well, this season, thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. So plenty to get involved with. And you can enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. So inside the last 2 minutes of the first half, when these teams played 4 weeks ago at half-time, it was 45-31 Brisbane. So some similarities about this. A reminder that Tassie eventually won the game. Majette turned down the shot, went to White. Shot clock rolls down now to red numbers, and White, not a lot happening for him, so he goes solo, can't convert. McVeigh had it, and now Harrison puts a stop to it.
Sometimes you're just a little too unselfish. If you get a good look that is exactly the shot you want to be taking, you've got to take that.
Froling does, but can't convert.
That's a foul. Milton Doyle going to send Harrison to the free throw line because they are in the bonus.
Third personal on Doyle as well.
Worrying signs for the Jack Jumpers. Not used to seeing him in this position. I like what Brisbane's doing. So Harry is clearly stretching the floor. A legit three-point threat. Harrison is down low going, I will clean up anything that you miss because I have the size advantage. They're controlling the boards, and all because Tassie can't make a shot. Shooting 28% from the field is just not going to win you games. You can't get any scoreboard pressure, so it's only a matter of time before this lead creeps out. And Pete, if it gets past 20, I hate to call it early, but I'll be tempted.
Well, the Jack Jumpers will look at this at halftime, and Scott Roth will not be happy because it's just not the way they play on the defensive end. They pride themselves on, look, if we're having nights where we're struggling to score the ball, which is tonight, 10 of 35 from the field, 2 of 17 from 3, they bank their defense to get enough stops where the lead doesn't get too out of hand. They did it all last season long. They've done it in the last few rounds, and it's something that we've seen have a lot of success from teams that pride themselves on the defense. So he'll be pretty upset giving up nearly 50 points in the first 20.
27 in this quarter to 14. They've got all the answers here, Brisbane, and Jack Jumpers with their hands full. As Kelly muscles his way in from close range, would not be denied. They're bounced off Baines and added the 2.
Determined to get a little bit closer and fight through Baines' pectoral defense. That was a long rest on the bench by Bainesy, so he should be fresh for this last minute.
Kadee picks up the dribble. Monted Mitchell down low, was denied that by Majette. Sobey now with it. Shot clock at 5. He looks to go to work. Off glass, can't convert. Mitchell, the offensive rebound, short-armed it though, and now Kelly draws a foul. Nathan Sobey picks up his foul.
Another offensive rebound. DJ Mitchell will want that one back. That's an easy 2 points. Did all the hard work, just didn't reward himself.
Second personal on Sobey.
First half for Harrison. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 of them on the offensive end.
Kelly left all alone, fires, but can't connect.
Normally you'd say that's a pretty good shot. If they're not going to respect you out there, Rashad Kelly hasn't lit it up from outside.
Block.
That's been called a charge, I think.
Kelly took the 2-for-1 opportunity. Obviously, that's not what he's been doing well all season, shooting the 3. He's capable, but just doesn't have a great percentage. I know a little bit about that, but we'll see what they do on the other end.
And you still want to get the 2-for-1, but at 2 of 18 from 3, I think you can get a better look. I know you're just trying to get it done before the shot clock ticks down.
Some of the worst shots taken in basketball is the 2-for-1.
Yep. Here's Majette with it now. Picks up the dribble. McVeigh, guarded by Krebs, puts it on the deck. Now Kelly muscling his way in from close range. That's an offensive foul as well.
Back-to-back offensive fouls. Bench warning here from the JackJumpers. They're very animated. Looked like a good call. Having a look here, Rashad Kelly, and then Tanner Krebs just stood still.
Right. Took it right in the chest.
Well, just towards the left shoulder, but chest enough.
You got a chance to take the last shot of the quarter or the half. You go too early, get yourself in trouble. This is the undisciplined, and there he goes straight to the bench. And Scott, I have a little word to him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the undisciplined nature that we're seeing in these first 20 minutes from the JackJumpers. And credit to the Bullets, they're capitalising.
So Brisbane with possession and a 16-point lead. And Cadee will slow it down. Chance for the Bullets as they go to Baines outside. Mitchell firing from deep. Can't connect. Baines almost came up with the offensive rebound. That is after the event from Jason Cadee. Halftime arrives here, and Brisbane enjoy a 16-point lead. It was 45-31 when they played 4 weeks ago. It's 46-30 here at the moment. That ended in overtime. Well, we've got a lot to look forward to if we're going to follow that script.
We don't want too many overtimes going on, because I heard it's this groundbreaking show right after this game.
Oh, have a listen to him.
We don't want to be missing out on people.
Have a listen to him. Self-promotion at its finest. It's going to be a big spray from Scott Roth at halftime.
Can't be happy with that. Let's go courtside for some reaction with Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I've got Nathan Sobey with me. Nathan, a big game for you guys. Jason's 350th. You're well in control here at the half. How does it feel for you out there?
Yeah, I mean, personally, we just got to take care of the ball, me especially, but I think the boys are doing a good job of just being able to execute our offense and then be able to grind it out down this end of the floor and get stops.
Yeah, the zone's really working really well for you in defense. Is there anything that you'd like to tidy up in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few pick and rolls where Doyle got downhill a little bit, but apart from that, I think we did a pretty good job. Like you said, just mixing and matching the zone, and man, we did a pretty good job.
Best of luck for the rest of the game in that case.
Joe Healy there with Nathan Sobey. 46-30 is an equation they'll be happy with at halftime. We'll have more for you in the Hungry Jacks NBL Saturday night right after this.
Jacks NBL. It is halftime here at My State Bank Arena. The Brisbane Bullets leading the Tassie JackJumpers, but I'm pleased to say that I'm joined by two, arguably, of the biggest JackJumpers fans going around, Jess and Roger. We're just watching Jack McVeigh highlights there. There is a reason for that. It's because you two have two JackJumpers matching tattoos that you got this week with Jack's signature. Jess, can you talk us through these and give us a look?
Yeah, so we just decided after the year that was last year or the last season that we wanted to get a JackJumpers tattoo to commemorate. And we're massive Jack fans, so that just had to be part of it. So we asked him for the permission to have his signature on us permanently, and yeah, he was absolutely stoked.
How did you go about it, Roger? Did you have to get him to sign something to then have it transferred onto the tattoo sort of stencil?
Yeah, look, we didn't want to go with just the normal Sharpie that you use on the jersey, so we went out of our way and made sure we got a really nice pen and some nice paper so that the tattoo artist really had something good to work with, and he did a great job.
I love that. Just be honest, whose idea was this? And this is a permanent thing. Who decided to get actual tattoos?
I don't remember. It was unanimous, though. There was really no question that it was happening after last year.
I love that. And you guys also celebrated your anniversary at the MVP dinner. What was that experience like?
Yeah, look, it was an extraordinary night. Like, just to be able to hang out with the players and, you know, celebrate what was just an amazing season was just the best.
I love that. Did you take it you obviously had to get approval from Jack for the tattoo? Did you get a chance to hang out with him at the dinner as well?
Yeah, so that's where I actually asked him initially for the permission. So, yeah, look, it was really nice, like Rog said, to get to actually have a bit more in-depth conversations, because obviously it's great, you know, the guys make such effort at the fan days and the family days, but there's obviously so many people you can always have to share that time. So it was really nice just to get to catch up and see them all relax after what was such a great year.
I love that, guys. This is amazing. These tattoos are so good. Best of luck for the second half and, of course, the rest of the season. And for anyone watching, it goes without saying, if you've got tattoos of your favourite team or your favourite players, we would love to see them.
Yes, send them to us here at NBL. HQ, because that is a great story, and they are die-hard fans as well. They travel 2.5 hours from Launceston to go to the games all the time. I love the passion.
I tell you what, they're probably lucky that Jack McVeigh has a beautiful looking signature, because my signature is putrid, and I've had a couple of my teammates in the past. I'm like, what is that? It's a couple of squiggles. Well, I'll tell you what, at least Jack McVeigh's got some nice handwriting, because that looks nice, and yeah, that's what you want. That's what the JackJumpers have done. That's what Jack McVeigh's done. They've loved Tassie. Tassie's loved them back, and that really just signifies the culture right there.
What the hell are we looking at? Are you... What?
Get with the program. Let's have a look at some Hungry Jacks highlights as Damon Lowry composes himself here, because this has been a great performance from the Brisbane Bullets. 50% from the field, led by as many as 18 in that second quarter, dominating the rebound count. It's all one-way traffic.
The beauty of what the Bullets have done is, even though they haven't made Bainsey a focal point early, they're moving the ball. They're not playing hero ball. The ball is going from side to side. Everybody's contributing. They're making the right read, and they're rebounding. Even though JackJumpers are shooting terrible, they're still rebounding. So kudos to this new Bullets team.
Well, I mean, they've just flicked the switch. Yes, they played the Allura Hawks twice, now JackJumpers. JackJumpers have played poorly, but this looks like a different looking Brisbane team, a better intent on what they're trying to get through. Terrell Harrison, I think, was the standout performer in the first half. I know Nathan Sobey's got 10 points and Aaron Baines has 8 points to go along with 6 rebounds. Let's have a look at the stats. 2 of 18 from 3. If the JackJumpers don't hit a couple more threes, they're not winning this game, because they're a team that needs to take a few threes. But the best part about the Brisbane Bullets first half, 11 assists. The ball's flying around. Everybody's getting a touch, and I think things are starting to click.
Well, Jason Caddy's 350th game. They'll look to celebrate that in style. We're going to learn more about that in a little while. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL. The JackJumpers have the biggest comeback of the season so far. They might going to have to come up with something good here to get back in this one against Brisbane.
Kadee plays his 350th next week. What a start!
I mean, he's the best teammate I've played with. Been playing a while now and love playing with him and being around him both on and off the court.
Sobey, good look from there.
It's awesome to be able to be on the court with him and share this moment. You know, I've watched a lot of his games over his career, and going to be fun going out there and just, you know, it's a credit to his longevity. It's a credit to what he brings to teams year in, year out. Creative, offensively, gets guys open looks and gets open looks for himself, which, you know, game at the end of the day is about putting the orange ball through the orange hoop.
We've had a lot of campaigns together with Brisbane, with the Boomers early days, and we're roommates on the road, so there's a lot of memories there, and yeah, it's been a good ride so far, but plenty more to come.
That's Corey. And I'm on the way. Yeah. Kadee for three.
And have Louis and Scarlett, and especially Louis, loves basketball, wants to go watch Dad play, wants to run around with kids. I just think of almost how I grew up.
Kadee, they can just party now, these Brisbane fans.
I loved my childhood at basketball stadiums, around other kids that love basketball. So you're trying to give your kids the best environment possible, and I just felt like basketball for me did that. And so I just sit there and watch him. I just hope I can do the same thing for both of them right now. And as I said, it makes you feel like you're playing for another reason other than yourself.
Now, been a tremendous warrior for the National Basketball League, Jason Kadee, and a credit to his parents, Robbie and Debbie, as well. Great players. And as we get underway here in the second half, and Brisbane with a 16-point advantage.
Well, it's so good to hear all the teammates talk about Jason Kadee as well. Just quiet. This is the man who went from a floor wiper back in the day to nearly had everything taken away from him with that horrific car crash, and to where he's got to now, and still got plenty left in the tank. Real testament to his hard work and how well he's played, and that's going to be a great way to start for the Bullets. That's Milton Doyle's fourth foul in the first 20 seconds. That's the one thing they couldn't afford, because he's been the man all season long, doing a little bit of everything. He looks like he's not checking out of the game. You've got to get that man out of the game, Scott Roth.
Yeah, there he is. There it is. We're watching something from Tassie that we haven't seen yet. So now we're going to see how they respond to some adversity. But I'll tell you what, you know how they say one hot day don't make a summer. If Brisbane can give me another good quarter, go into the fourth quarter up double digits, then, like I said,
You're on board.
I'm on board. This is a different team.
Here's Sobey with it now as they look to expand the margin. Shot clock rolls down into red numbers now. Mitchell been good so far. Shut down on this occasion. Quick outlet pass finds Majet. They need some stops because at the moment Brisbane at 49% from the field. They need offense as well, and they've got some instant offense. That's a nice way to start there for McDonald.
Well, Sean McDonald, there isn't an award for it, but he's leading Development Player of the Year. He's stepping in, he's earned these minutes, he's put in the work, and he is starting to reap the reward from it. Anytime he gets the opportunity, he would have had it hotly contested with Lockie Dent before Lockie Dent got to the end of the bench. Maybe there's time for the Hawks to say, you know what, we'll give Lockie Dent a bit more of a chance. But he's been a man ready for his opportunities. Matt Kenyon and Jason Kadee, I think Matt Kenyon was just trying to give him a hug and say congratulations on 350 games.
Yeah. Jason can easily get to 450. What they need to do to honor this man is just get the win. It's not about Jason. It's not about his stats. He just wants to win.
So Brisbane by 13. Remembering the great history between these teams in overtime clashes in Hobart. Well, the pass was for Baines. Had too much on it from Sobey. In fact, it was that far over Baines' head. He was thinking there was someone standing behind him. Turnover number 7 for Brisbane. And this is an area that they can have issues with. Turn the ball over 17 times a game, the most in the competition.
They can't afford to let Tasmania off the hook. Their leading man, leading playmaker, Milton Doyle's got 4 fouls. Yes, they're going to always trust their bench and individually have the self-confidence, but the Bullets have to keep their foot on Tassie's throat.
Game high 32 for Doyle when these teams last played, and he played 42 minutes in that game, still the most by any player in a game this season as McVeigh goes to work. Can't connect. And gets the ball back.
Sometimes it just might be one of those days. Everybody looks at Bainesy and think, oh, yeah, I'm going to put him on an island, but I don't know if that's the island you want to be on. He's moving his feet. He's, like I said, he'll bump you. He'll move his feet. He'll give you a little chicken wing here and there. Nobody is punishing that matchup one-on-one on the perimeter against him.
Matt Kenyon 0-4. Matt Kenyon hasn't scored in his last 10 quarters played. He's not a scorer. He's not an offensive threat, but you still expect him to knock down at least 1-3 every now and then or get a layup or a back door. Right now, they need offense.
Is it me or is Jared Weeks still on the team?
Oh, he is. That beautiful.
He's shooting 90% from three.
Oh, the Amy replay
surprised.
here. Tanner Krebs. There was a lot of ball initially from Fabian Krislovic. He didn't like it. Probably had a bit of a case.
Big case, I reckon.
First personal for Krislovic. This is Kadee now. 2 minutes played in the third quarter. Sobey bounces off Kenyon, went back for more. Can't convert him. Jet grabs the rebound. And McDonald is making things happen. 44% from deep. This time goes inside. Ambitious off the window.
Scott Roth has a lot of faith in Sean, and this is what he does. Like, Sean's rewarded him, too, with his play. And I'm just surprised that he hasn't went to Jared Weeks, but this group can still get back in it. Now that Brisbane can't make a shot, this is when Tassie got to make a move.
Shot clock works to 10 here. Majet fires. He's off the mark. Baines lost control of the rebound. Came to Krislovic. They'll get another chance here. McDonald could be the man. He is.
Yeah, and then again, that's Tanner Krebs. Just a little overzealous on the rebound. Aaron Baines had that rebound. It looks like Tanner Krebs spilt it. And in the end, Sean McDonald, they need a spark. That's all we mentioned. Milton Doyle goes out. Who's going to step up? Sean McDonald's been that guy so far. 8 points. Can I hear Development Player of the Year, Damon?
Ooh, I'm still with the president in the Illawarra, Lockie Dent, but he's making a strong case. It's a 50-50 call right now.
Of course, no NBL games next weekend with World Cup qualifiers on for the Boomers. And Joe Healy spoke pre-game to Jack McVeigh about the Boomers' chances.
You mentioned the Boomers. You're heading to Kazakhstan again this week for the World Cup qualifiers. What does it feel like to be donning the green and gold again?
Yeah, it's always incredible. Just a great group of guys. Continue to learn. Excited to work with Nick Kay, someone that I've never had much to do with. Similar position. Learn from him and try and keep improving.
Good.
Well, here is that squad. I'll tell you what, the name that he mentioned, Nick Kay. Love any time that Nick Kay wears the green and gold. Some exciting young talent coming through as well. Vasiljevic, he's been great in the green and gold. Xavier Cooks is out there with Nick Kay. We think about the future of our program in the bigs department. Mitch McCarron leading the charge as well. And always like to see how they fare on the main stage.
That main Boomer squad, yeah, that's a good group. That's almost like a tune-up for Cooks and for Nick Kay, because surely
there's going to be a bit of a logjam maybe with Jack White as well in that spot.
If Xavier Cooks is not in that Boomer squad, then I don't know what is going on.
He'll be in the squad, but Nick Kay.
No, I mean the team, Pete.
I know you're talking about World Cup.
Of course, that's next year. There's Krebs with problems here. They took 7 of the 8 seconds to get over the halfway line there. And now Kadee gets it, but the shot clock's in single digits. Krebs puts it on the deck against Canyon, and an offensive foul is going to be called here on Aaron Baines.
They've ramped their defense up.
That's a mistake by Tanner Krebs. Baines is a very willing screener, as we all know, but that time he had a seal. He had a lob over the top. Tanner puts his head down and drives, and Baines tried to clear some space. He gets the foul, but he should have just got the pass direct.
So Tassie trying to mount their challenge here. Down by as many as 18 in the second quarter. Margin cut to 10. They've coughed it up here. Well, it's not going to help the cause.
Weird to say, they've got Brisbane right where they want them right now. Brisbane haven't used these first 2.5 minutes just to really continue their momentum. Not surprising that Tyler Johnson has subbed in early in this third quarter. And here's another steal.
Here we go.
McVeigh.
Here we go.
3 balls all the bottom of the net.
They've lifted their defensive intensity. That's how they get the crowd involved. That's how they get the Ant Army going in the nest. Lifted on the defensive end, start to be scrappy, physical, make some plays happen, and then knock down some shots.
9 unanswered points to start the third quarter. Tassie back in the frame here. From close range, here's Jason Kadee putting a stop to it and drawing a foul on Majet, his second.
Did they just run Melbourne Tiger 2/3? Did I just see a guard to wing shuffle cut for a layup? That is good ball movement under pressure. That's how Tassie's going to crawl up into you, every single one of them. If you start setting back picks 28 feet from the hoop as opposed to ball screens, all of a sudden the key opens up.
Josh Majet yelling to his teammate for a bit of help. You've also got to not fall asleep. Those shuffle cuts, when you're cutting from one side of the perimeter to the other, point guards who are guarding that usually just fall asleep thinking there's no way they're going to zip it past my ear. Really good read, really good cut, and good awareness from Jason Kadee, because on the offensive side, guards fall asleep. They just run that cut because it's part of the offense and not look for the ball.
Here's McVeigh looking for back-to-back triples off the mark. Sobey snatches the rebound. 26-20 the rebound count in Brisbane's favour here, and Sobey goes on with it, feeds Frolling. Now gets Kadee involved as the shot clock works to 10. Racked up the defensive intensity here, the Jack Jumpers. Still has some work to do as Kadee works to the baseline and knocks down the two.
Glad he made that shot because Harry had a little Josh Majette on him, and I'm thinking this is the Brisbane team now. Sometimes when they're at their worst, they miss things like that.
Tell you what, Jason Kadee, you've seen a little bit of extracurricular with Matt Kenyon beforehand. When Matt Kenyon called that on the wing, Jason Kadee stood inside the key and screamed, "Shoot it." Now, that's so disrespectful, and then shuffled his feet enough to then take the charge as well. He just absolutely had the fishing line out and just slowly reeled in the bait.
The game within the game, huh, Pete?
So pressure up the floor here, but Brisbane have withstood the challenge so far after Tassie scored 9 unanswered points. And forced area here. And the Jet wants to get on with it quickly. Feels they have the momentum despite Brisbane scoring the last 5. Get the margin back into double figures. 4 minutes played in the third.
Josh Majette might be the Harry Frolling stopper. That's the second time he's guarded Harry out there on the perimeter. They can't get him the ball.
Up above, Nate, up here.
Uncharacteristic ugly turnovers here from Tassie. 9 for them, 11 for the Bullets as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, just talking about Jace Kadee being fired up for this game. I spoke to him beforehand and I said, do you know where you were for your 300th game? And he said, oh my goodness, don't remind me. We're in Launceston. We got handed a new one by the New Zealand Breakers. So no surprises, he's up for it tonight.
Excellent intel there, Joe. Well played.
That's pretty. Oh, man.
Class.
That's pretty, but that's just a foot too short. You've got to take a step back. That's a long two. You said the mid-range is great. Long twos are no good,
well, yeah, I agree with you 100% on that one. Latada Johnson just knows how to flat-out put the ball in the hole. Simple as that.
McDonald, quick release. Couldn't get it done. Baines grabs the rebound. Getting some treatment as well. Number 8 in the rebound count there for Aaron Baines.
Oh, everybody hanging off, trying to get the ball out of Aaron Baines. Literally a man just trying to fight off ants, that looked like. No pun intended.
Like Gulliver's
I think
travels.
That pun was intended. Yeah. You intended that pun.
I'll take it.
Shot clock at 5. Kadee elevates for the triple. It's short.
They're switching that ball screen. Josh Majette is going on the Frolling. You need to be patient. Don't want to be too critical of the guy that's played 200 more games than me, but just take your time and let Harry get down there and punish Josh for being little.
All right, out of court.
Get punished for being little.
Well, without
defending little guys all season long, and they say punish
well, without giving the little sign, because we don't like that.
What were you listed at on the NBL website?
5'11 and a half.
So that is the generosity at its finest. It's Jack McVeigh again. He's hit 4 threes in this third quarter.
4 of 7 from long range after none of 11 in the opening quarter and 2 of 7 in the second term. Again, this is looking a little bit like what happened the last time they played, which included Tyler Johnson coming to the party in the third.
Talk about instant offense off the bench. You don't have to drop any plays for him. He just needs the ball.
Majette retreats, gets it back from McDonald. Now wants Kelly involved. McDaniel.
Travel.
Called for the travelling violation. Turnover number 10 now for Tassie.
Well, you see Josh Majette. He had Terrell Harrison on him. Didn't really test the waters, kicked it out. Rashard Kelly, another one. You've got to have the mismatch. You've got to at least get your feet in the paint to try and force the defense to have to adapt. If someone rips baseline, whether it's Majette or Kelly, then maybe Sam McDaniel has his feet set for a wide open corner-to-corner 3.
Tassie have done a good job restricting Brisbane to just 9 points so far in this quarter. Trouble is they only have 12 of their own. The tip-in tumbles there for Frolling, who's now got 7 points in the game.
Frolling, I need you to put your arms up. Thank you.
Jack McVeigh showing some fight, trying to get the team into it. And
Harry, stop. Hey, I'm trying to talk to you. Don't continue to walk away. Don't be an instigator on it as well. I'm instigator. Stop. On the rebound you did, you don't have to push him away. Be smart. That's the pistol. Play smart. Thank you. Go. Let's go. Jason.
Plenty happening here. Who want to be a referee?
Well, I like the all-round long, and in the last couple of rounds, how well they've communicated back and forth. No one just pulling the trigger too early on a tee.
You got to be careful when you get your arms tangled up.
Well, thanks to MG this season, we're giving away a brand new MG ZS EV electric car. It's valued at $44,990. There's a bargain. Enter now at nbl.com.au/winning MG. So here's a chance now for Majette walking into an open three. It's off the mark. Hasn't been his night. Now none of 4 from the field.
I want to go with the crowd and how it's feisty after that. Jack McVeigh, how do they respond when it's like it's, when it could be a bit of a biff?
Well, they're just waiting to get involved, the fans. McDonald might invite them now.
Oh. DP of the year.
I see it, Shawnee Mack.
This is why the Rookie of the Year needs to change. I think it needs to be more of a rising star award like the AFL does. Doesn't matter if you're a development player. If you're playing well enough to earn yourself minutes, we saw Mason Peeling do it for Melbourne United. If you're under a certain age or a certain game number, you should be eligible for the award.
I like it. Why not have both?
We can also do that.
12 is the spread here. We started this quarter at 16, closed to 7. Brisbane are holding firm as McVeigh takes them on and earns a trip to the free throw line. Let's go to Joe Healy courtside.
Joe, can you tell down there? I know it's Jack McVeigh, and he's not an instigator, but he seems to be the crowd, the level guy, the barometer. The barometer. That's the word I was looking for. Do you notice them reacting differently when he gets involved in something?
Absolutely. Is Jack McVeigh the entertainer, isn't he? He's known as that down here. Guys, it definitely feels like the momentum has swung. I know there's still 12 points in it here, but the Tassie crowd are definitely getting behind their team in this quarter.
He's been a star, Jack McVeigh, very popular in Adelaide as well during his time. This is his 5th season in the NBL, 2nd with Tassie. And the margin is 11th. So McVeigh to the bench with 17 points to lead all scorers.
Pete, I'm torn. I'm emotionally torn right now. I want to see a great Tassie fight back, comeback, but also want to see Brisbane establish themselves as a legitimate playoff team. That's a good back pick by Harrison.
You're allowed to want to see both, mate. You don't have to be torn.
Oh, Rasmus Bark with it now. Hands over to Johnson. Self-inflicted wounds continue to haunt Tassie JackJumpers at the moment. 12 turnovers. Brisbane have that number as well as Johnson earns a trip to the free throw line.
So this is interesting here. Josh Majette is screaming for a coach's challenge from Scott Roth. And these are the interesting ones because there was contact there, no doubt. But if that foul isn't on Josh Majette, then you can challenge that. If there's a foul on somebody else, it doesn't matter because what the call was made was Josh Majette had the foul. Scott Roth wants no part of it. And you know what? I like that because players, how many times have players led their coaches down the path of losing a challenge?
Exactly. You worry about playing, I'll worry about coaching. Stay in your lane. But look at his lineup that Scott Roth has on the floor. He's got 3 little guards. Majette, he's got out there, he's got Isaac White, who's out there practicing his stroke already, and Sean McDonald. Like this, who are they going to guard? So right now, Brisbane should come down and find one of those dudes and put him in the Thunder House. Is that what it's called?
Look at Sam McDaniel playing the 4 spot right now. This is what happens when Milton Doyle picks up his 4th foul. You need to give Jack McVeigh a breather as Josh Majette tees one up, and that's going to help. They're just hanging around. They'll help on the defensive end. They'll switch a lot of things. They'll try and get up and in, junk things up.
Been great from outside in this 3rd quarter after it was dry in that first half at 2 of 18 from deep. Here's Johnson working on McDaniel, feeding Froling. Nothing on offer for him. Back to Tyler Johnson. He's off the front of the rim and Froling draws a foul. So free throws to come here for Harry Froling.
Great job by Harry. Shot goes up. He stays active. He gets on the glass because they have to. What's the point of being tall if you're not going to punish the smaller teams? That's good to see. Harrison's on the glass and Harry's getting extra shot opportunities.
Now have a listen to that case. That 5'2" man saying, "What is the point of being tall?"
Hey, if it weren't, I'm a normal-sized human. If it weren't for basketball, some of these dudes would be in the circus.
So you get out of one of those little Matchbox cars before. Right out the front, mind you. You get one of those good parks again?
I had to walk down the street this time.
Oh, it's never good after running 32K in a day.
Harry Froling, the 6th Brisbane player to get to the free throw line in the game. Tassie has 3 players who have been to the stripe. They've had all the answers, and Harry telling the crowd to be a little bit quiet as well.
Harry can. He does have a cheeky streak in him.
Well, he played in front of a lot of these fans. Hobart Chargers, NBL1. He had a terrific season.
So Kelly with it. Needs to get involved. 1 of 8 from the field, Kelly. Hasn't been his night, and he's had a few friends in that category.
I love the way Brisbane's mixing up their defense. They go in a 2-3 zone, and even that time they just went to man after a couple of passes. I think it's confusing the JackJumpers.
Now a foul going to be called on Harry Froling.
Harry Froling again turning to James Duncan.
Extra adjustment.
Trying to say, please, give me a coach's challenge. There's definitely no point in that. Only his second foul. Up 13. So I think coach challenge might have to go back to. You just get one.
And be done with it.
Save some coaches from themselves.
Here's Kelly exploring nothing on offer. McDaniel against Froling in a mismatch. Work to an opening and knocks down the shot.
I'm torn. 11-point lead would normally be a nice, relaxed kind of, you feel kind of good, but
that's going to be a foul on Rashad Kelly. That's his 3rd foul. Didn't have to do it. Yes, you're trying to set the tone defensively, but you've got it back to within 11. You get a stop and another good look, and you go in 3/4 time trailing by single digits. All of a sudden, you're feeling better about yourself. He was just a bit too overzealous trying to stop Harrison getting to his spot.
Well, these fouls really starting to rack up here for Tasmania. 18 in the game. Brisbane has 11. And they average 19 a game. Tassie, that's a quarter to play, of course. Milton Doyle picked up his 4th personal in the first minute of this 3rd quarter and has been sitting ever since then.
You got to be able to play D controlled. Control your aggression. You just can't be out there just going all gung-ho. This is why I would love to see the league bring in a rule. If you foul out, leave the building. I want security to take you outside, leave the place, because you don't want to play basketball no more. You can't control yourself, Pete.
I'll tell you what, you've said some really interesting things over the course of the last couple of years. That might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard you say.
It would make them respect staying on the court.
So the margin 11. Shot clock just marginally inside the game clock here as we head toward 3/4 time. It's won the difference when they played 4 weeks ago here before overtime and Tassie prevailing. But
man, again, you see just the zealous activity. Sam McDaniel just shoving.
Tech foul on the bench as well.
Well, there you go. That's what it was. I think that wasn't the foul on Sam McDaniel. Scott Roth not happy. Maybe this is him just trying to spark something in his team. Or maybe this is Scott Roth just trying to set an example, saying, look, I'll go to bat for you. Everybody else, shut up. I'll go to bat for you. Let's just play the right way.
Does Tex actually fire up a team? I don't know.
Well, I don't think we have enough.
Do you know what I mean? Brendan Joyce coached me for a long time, and
hello.
Brendan would be on the refs as soon as the jump ball went up, and not one of his tech fouls ever fired us up.
There's certain coaches that they do that. They get technical fouls, and as a team, you're like, here we go again. There's been plenty of those. There's still some around now. Some players as well.
So the Bullets with possession and an 11-point lead as we head toward 3/4 time. Johnson uses Mitchell and travelling violation called on Brisbane.
There they go. 6 seconds left. Get a good look. Try and go into 3/4 time. Single digits. In come the shooters.
That's when Tyler got to keep that. Take the last shot. You're hot. You're isolated. You're being a little too unselfish. Yeah, I mean.
Well, he is hot, but you saw in the way they cleared Nathan Sobey out of the strong side, put him weak side corner in case there was some help. I think they should have switched those roles.
Here we go, heading toward 3/4 time. McDonald kicks outside. Here's Kelly, overdue. Can't get it to finish. And at 3/4 time, Brisbane turn for home, enjoying an 11-point lead with 1 quarter to play. It's Brisbane 64, Tasmania 53. More on a Hungry Jacks NBL right after this. Of course, this year we have got a $50,000 prize coming your way thanks to Latrobe Financial. And here are some of the entries so far. From half court, knock down the shot, send in the video. And there's some nice work there. Plenty more opportunities for you to get involved. Get out and try your luck here for $50K. Welcome back to Saturday Night Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, the first of our double header, and Tasmania, after being down by as many as 18 in the second quarter, have closed the margin here to 11 thanks to some great outside shooting there in that third quarter, as we can see at 50% from deep.
That always helps. That's what it's a make or miss league. A lot of people say it, but if you can't put the ball in the hole, your life is hard.
I think a lot of leagues make or miss. You're missing.
Is it league?
Oh, you're in a bit of trouble. But this might be where the Jack Jumpers want them. I know they're down 11 and they've played pretty poorly. It was about a third quarter. But overall, they'll be thinking, look, we're right in this game. We just got to stick to our guns, make some more shots.
Baines called foul there on Kelly. I thought he'd been called for a travelling violation. Fourth personal now on Kelly. Doyle has already got 4.
I wanted 3 seconds because you knew the jump hook was coming sooner or later. Oh yeah, you need him in the midsection.
So Baines failed to score in that third quarter as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Thanks. I was just listening in to the Jack Jumpers there at three-quarter time. Really, really vocal from the playing group. They were saying, piece by piece, guys, we can do this. We can feel it. We've got the momentum. And Scott Roth, there you go. The fans are happy. They've got some dinner on the way home. But yeah, Scott Roth happy defensively. He said it's better. Let's keep making them work harder.
Aaron Baines provides the cheeseburgers. Code word is Lane. And now a foul on Baines as well. Maybe his second personal.
Scott Roth and his Jack Jumper team got that many catchphrases. They should be on T-shirts. I'm sure they're selling T-shirts out the front with grit and, what is it, grit and grind.
They just need to make a cartoon with Scott Roth having a nice cigar and just whack it on the front of a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I like it. I'd wear it.
It'll sell. Good to see Jared Weeks out here on the floor. This is obviously the last quarter. It's the last roll of the dice. We'll probably see Milton Doyle check back in soon.
He's out there as well. Kelly short off the rim. So his shooting woes continue now. It's 2 of 11, 18%.
That's not surprising, Cage. You see how he's just trying to go through Aaron Baines' body. Baines is thinking, look, you're going to continue to do this, and if you hit a tough one every now and then, I'll live with it.
Sobey working on Weeks, elevating for the finish. 15 in the game now for Sobey.
Sobey has a sense of the moment. He wants to put this thing to bed early. And they go back to your 2-3 zone and daring you to make a shot. If you got a team shooting 8 for 30, why would you play man-to-man?
Just not happening for Tassie at the moment. Weeks works inside. Baines confronted by multiple defenders. Gets McDaniel an open look and he knocks down the 3.
That's his bread and butter. Mid-range jump shots and corner threes. Had his feet set. Good drive from Jared Weeks. That was better. That's what we spoke about in the third quarter. Putting some heat on the rim, not just relying on contested jump shots, and make the extra pass. Someone will get their feet set, ready to knock it down.
Jack Jumpers hanging around here. Johnson has it snatched away. Good defensive pressure again from Tasmania as Majette gets it from Weeks. Goes on with a dribble to the baseline. Doyle.
Extra.
Majette.
Extra.
They find the open man.
3 extras. You got to shoot it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Oh, that is beautiful basketball. Unselfish to a T. Any single one of those guys could have taken a shot and you'd say that's a great shot. They just kept passing the rock.
Broke the record for the most extra passes in a possession that resulted in a bucket. That was awesome.
Margin cut to 8. Baines from the 3 line gets it done.
Just a 6th field goal attempt of the game. Into double figures, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the field. Still think they can use him a lot more on the offensive end.
No doubt.
They've answered every challenge in this game. Brisbane back into double figures the lead. Majette, he comes up with the goods.
Timely Josh Majette. Seems like he saves his threes for the most opportune, the most timely moments.
So 8 is the margin once more. Now a foul going to be called on Majette. Going to be his 4th personal. Already Doyle and Kelly have 4.
He's very animated. And look, I think he might have got hit afterwards. But it was definitely a foul first. Initially initiated contact. If you have a look, Amy replay. Here's this ball movement. Just kick, kick. Could have shot that. Could have shot this. Little pass and cut. 1-2 game. Beautiful.
Go.
Foul discipline. Now Josh has got to be tentative. Doyle's got to be tentative. This is not how the Jack Jumpers play defense. That's why you got to learn how to protect yourself.
Shot clock to 5. Kadee picks up the dribble. They need to get busy. Krebs, an unlikely conveyance. Never had it on target. Good defensive pressure from the JackJumpers.
Come on, Tanner. You got to throw that ball inside of DJ. He's got Joshua Jett on him, and he's on 4 fouls. He could have got him out of the game, or at least got himself an easy shot attempt.
So margin is 8. Tick over 3 minutes played here in this final quarter. It was Brisbane by 5 at quarter time, by 16 at the half, and 11 coming into this final quarter. Doyle takes on Krebs, draws the foul, is off to the free throw line.
Good determined drive by Milton Doyle. He tried to start the game off aggressive like this. It just wasn't falling for him. Then he got himself in foul trouble. He wrecked his rhythm, but we all know what he's capable of. In these last 6 minutes, he's going to attack the rim.
Well, he is, and look, there's been some real silly fouls from the JackJumpers end. I think a lot of it comes down to the way they started this game. Normally, they set the tone defensively, where they're physical from the opening tip, so that if anything they do a little extracurricular, a little bump here and there, the umpires and referees normally let it go because they're thinking that's the way you have always played defense. They didn't do that to start the game. Then they tried to switch it on. All of a sudden, it looks, hang on, that's a bit too much of a hit. That's going to be an easy foul. They've got 22 fouls on the night. 3 guys with 4.
When Brian Gorge used to coach those hacking-ass Victorian Titan teams, the refs used to say, well, we can't foul all of them out. Mike Kelly, Tony Ronaldson, Jason Smith out there hacking.
Frank Drimick, I should say. 6-point margin is as close as Tassie have been since the opening quarter here. But the follow-up tip-in works, and Brisbane again have the answer.
Just doing enough to stay in front, using their size on offensive glass.
Let's go on Tanner Krebs. Aaron Baines gets a little tip-in, take his tally to 13. 9 rebounds, 1 away from a double-double.
Tanner Krebs, this is not necessary. It's not necessary. Get out of the way. Just back.
Well, it's hard because Jackson Bates just being that pest of a big who just continues to roll into you. But, yeah, that's your 3rd team foul with 6 minutes to go.
Here's Jett. Shot clock works to 5. Doyle against Krebs. Puts it on the deck. Feeds McDaniel. Needs to fire. Can't finish it. Mitchell grabs the rebound.
8 rebounds for him. DJ Mitchell.
There it is. Thank you. Oh, Bainesy.
I'll tell you what, Jack McVeigh didn't do a whole lot there because Aaron Baines absolutely just spilt it. But he touched the backboard, and I think he got a bit of the rim, which is going to be the goaltend. In the end, you're trying to make the contest because you'd expect Aaron Baines to make that 99 times out of 100, but he just blew it.
You're asking for trouble, front them 2 feet away from the basket. Who's going to help? That lob goes over the top.
Jett beats McDaniel. Good close out from Baines. Now reaching in. Krebs going to be called for the foul here, so that's 3 in the space of a couple of minutes. 4th team foul overall on Brisbane in this quarter. Could work against them down the stretch here. Margin is 10.
This is when you got to keep your head. Cool head, be poised. Can I drop a name? Yo, man.
Fire away.
I played against a guy, Brett Maher. Brett Maher, I swear, 1 year averaged 1 foul for the entire season, and he played about 42 minutes a game. You couldn't get the guy in foul trouble. He was too disciplined.
Well, that's not what you told me before the broadcast. You said protected.
One of the two, wasn't it? We'll hear from Brett now. 2nd game, Adelaide against Perth. He'll be courtside at the Brett Maher court, which is only appropriate. Free throws to come now. Brisbane over the limit in terms of fouls in this quarter, and Krebs has picked up 4.
Well, Tucker's picked 3 in the last 60 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't have him on the floor. Like you're too undisciplined on defense. Now they're shooting free throws for the next 5 minutes.
I think there's a coach's challenge here.
James.
Yeah, we're going to get a coach's challenge.
Yes.
So 5:26 left on the clock. They'll challenge the foul called on Krebs, which was his 4th personal, and put Brisbane over the limit in this quarter. Why not roll the dice with 5.5 to play?
Picked up a couple, so let's have another look here. He's out of position when he comes across, and right on the elbow.
Yellow 17 will remain. We will come back with 2 shots. Unsuccessful.
It is. It just got him on the elbow. He was always out of position. It's an interesting one. That's his 4th foul. And there you go, Damon. Here's a tribute. Do you know who leads the shortest amount of time on the floor before fouling out in NBL history?
No. Who?
Cam Tovey. I think it's 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
That's Tovey.
3:25. 3:25.
How is that possible?
That's a great question.
Jeez.
Cam Tovey for Townsville, of course, played with Sydney as well. 2018, he fouled out in 3:25, which is a pretty good effort.
Nobody's beating that.
No, that is someone who's gone out there to set that record. There's no way. I mean, Tanner Krebs just had 3 in about 60, 70 seconds. But if that happens, normally you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to touch it.
This is why we need security to escort him from the building.
Okay, I said it was a ridiculous thing before, but if you foul out in under 3 minutes, under 4 minutes, I'm more than happy for you to get sent home, sit on the couch, watch the rest of the game from there.
Quickest foul out this season, 14 minutes for Gurjot Gak.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Sydney. So, right now, Tassie are making some noise, but each time they close, Brisbane find an answer.
Now, I'm making a sub right now. Okay, Tyler, come in here and get Tanner. Thank you. We got it's closing time now.
So Brisbane being challenged here. Tassie closed to within 8. And Brisbane over the limit in terms of fouls in this quarter. As Krebs gets it again. Baines.
Back pick for Bainesy. Look at him.
Shot clock rolls to red numbers. Krebs puts it on the deck, takes on Doyle, worried out of the points. They get it back. Kadee must fire. That's after the event, going to be waved away. The dunk from Baines.
Well, he was there. Aaron Baines. Just a big body. Sometimes you've got to trust the big fella to throw it down low to him.
I don't want to keep picking on Tanner Krebs, but that's at least the 2nd or 3rd time that he just wasn't aware of Baines' seal and put his head down and tried to drive. And Bainesy's right there 2 feet from the hoop. He's got to keep his head up and have a look.
Still to come, Adelaide against Perth, coming up at 8 o'clock, straight after the crossover. Look forward to that. And then Craig Randall against Bryce Cotton has great appeal. So here's Majette. Took them on, was worried about Johnson from behind, said he was fouled. Referees didn't see it that way.
That's a patented move by Majette when he comes off, when he snakes that ball screen, tries to get in front of you and jump. He normally gets that.
Well, he does.
Takes on Majette, elevates from the foul line. Can't get it to go. Kelly the rebound.
So both the times Brisbane head down to Tasmania has gone to overtime. And that last overtime game, Case, you alluded to, Aaron Baines sat on the bench as Milton Doyle brings this game to within 6. Well, Baines is headed to the bench with 4 minutes to go in the clutch.
Surely not.
6-point ball game. Fans starting to get involved. Johnson picks up the dribble, uses Froling against McVeigh. Shot clock works to 5. Froling, offensive foul. Jack McVeigh gets it done at the defensive end.
Well, he tried to match the physicality. Harry Froling looked like he had his way with him, little mouse in the house. In the end, offensive foul, and you've got no challenge.
I thought that was a flop myself.
I'm with you, but you've got no challenge because you chose to do it on. Oh, I think he just folded like a beach chair.
They don't fold that easily.
Oh my! That's why you keep your challenge. I mean, he's probably going to lose it based on the way we've been going.
So nervous times for Brisbane Bullets fans here. They led by as many as 18 in the 2nd quarter and by 15 in the 3rd. Doyle can't convert there from close range.
Still a lot of time left.
Damon, you keep telling me that you're torn in this game. Not anymore. Every time I hear you groan when a Tasmania shot goes up, you're an honorary ant.
They sucked me in last year big time.
Here's Kadee in game 350. He's short off the front of the rim. Just 9 points for Brisbane in this final quarter.
Oh, hello.
McVeigh, he's off the mark as well. Well done, Kelly, to keep that alive. Nudged out of court by Froling. And a chance now for Brisbane just to steady the ship. And Froling started it at the defensive end, draws contact and off to the free throw line.
Well, this might be one that gets looked at for a coach's challenge from Scott Roth. Milton Doyle, that's his 5th foul. He'll be done for the night, having an early shower, unless he can really convince Scott Roth that he didn't touch any part of Harry Froling. I think we're going to get, here we go, we're going to get a challenge. And look, only one person knows right now is Milton Doyle whether he fouled or not. And if you did foul, I know it's your 5th one, you've just got to make sure that you tell the truth.
6-point margin, under 3 minutes to play.
It's a coach's challenge.
Currently, 2 shots, 2 foul, 25 drinks.
So they're going to check now to see if Doyle can get away with this. It's a big call.
Well, he looks like he was upset initially, but then I think he kind of understood that he maybe had a... Oh, no.
Ooh.
Well, that's going to be the baseline angle. So the replay center gets every angle. The replay center gets more angles than we're seeing here. You've got to keep that in mind. So this angle right here will tell a whole lot.
Challenge successful.
I mean, he hits, if anything, he hits the high knuckle on Harry Foling's middle finger. I would say...
Yep. Thank you. Coach's challenge is successful.
There we go. You can hear from Michael Allen. This is Milton
25
Doyle.
allowed to play.
I don't think he was animated enough. Scott Roth had to really think about it.
Upon review, the coach's challenge is successful. There was no foul on the play. As the ball was shot, we will restart with a jump ball in the centre circle.
All right, it's a 3-minute game. Brisbane is up 6-zip in my opinion. This is when the team that makes the least amount of mistakes wins. If Brisbane just try to milk this game and let the clock run out, they're going to likely get run over the top. They need to come down here and execute a rock-solid play.
Just talk about how well delivered that was from Michael Allen.
Excellent work.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And a jump ball, which will throw a lot of people as well. Harrison up against Kelly.
You're good? Okay, so you're going to have 18 seconds, okay? So wait.
You heard Michael Allen explain it. Because it was a shot, the ball wasn't in anybody's possession. They jump it up.
Jason Kadee. Hands over, they get Sobey involved. Johnson shut down by Weeks. Comes for the penetration. Tough shot, couldn't get it to go. Harrison had it. Kelly took it away, and a chance for Tassie.
Not a bad set. They ran the hammer screen to try to get Tyler's shot in the corner. He got a good, strong drive on his left hand. Just missed a good shot. That's good offense, though.
It was great defense from Jared Weeks, one-on-one. Physicality, kept his hands out. And the Jack Jumpers, another sniff.
Shot clock to 5. Majette against Baines in a mismatch. Works inside. Works to Doyle, who fires the 3. It wouldn't tumble. Harrison grabs the rebound.
Roof is ready to blow off at the nest. They get one more stop. Knock down a bucket. This place is going to go nuts.
Clock working in the favour of the Bullets here as Sobey. Looks inside. Harrison has the D available. Extra pass.
Oh, wow. Terrell Harrison, he had his 10th there for a month. You are taller than everybody else down there. That has to be a dunk.
My buddy in the NBA, who used to play for the Philadelphia 76ers, got roasted for something very similar. He puts 2 hands and finishes that as over.
Well, this game just continues to deliver. 6 is the margin inside the last 2 minutes. Tassie have had their chances, just haven't been able to knock down the shots when they were needed.
Brisbane is looking wobbly, even though they had 2 good sets. Tassie just has not been able to just get that lead, just to cut it to 2, just to make Brisbane just tighten up a little more.
It's been entertaining nonetheless. This is the first of our doubleheader. Still to come. Adelaide against Perth here on a Saturday night. Sandwiched in the middle there, the crossover.
The what?
Crossover?
Oh, yeah.
You ready to roll?
Tune in. The sun did come up in Perth, I found out. Big game for them boys.
So 1:56 to play. Margin is 6. Tassie has outscored Brisbane 37-27 since half-time. Trouble is they were down 16 at the major break.
Again, they just hang around.
Let's get some courtside analysis from Joe Healy.
Yeah, certainly not panic stations for the JackJumpers just yet. Just listening in there, Scott Roth running the guys through some sets. He said, there's plenty of time. We don't need to hit home runs. Let's take it possession by possession.
Oh, Majette fires off the mark. I think he was looking for a home run.
Well, he might have been unlucky not to go to the free throw. Tyler Johnson slipped and in the end took out the landing space of Josh Majette. And he's carried on a little bit in this fourth quarter to the referees and didn't even say a thing.
He's got some acting chops about him, but that was a great set. Just couldn't knock it down.
Yo, close the gate.
Offense has dried up for Brisbane in this final quarter. They go to Baines. Aggressively and offensive. Found too much on that from Baines.
Baines is shocked. He tried to put his elbow through his entire body.
That was aggressive stuff from Aaron Baines, who picks up his third personal.
I'll look at it here. And Sean Kelly was just ready to wear it.
His knees buckled. Watch the buckling of the knees.
Just saw the truck coming and said, this might hurt tomorrow, but I'll take it.
No free throws, of course. They got to come down and make a shot.
Well, they've got nothing out of McVeigh so far in this last quarter. Yet to score. But they again have an opportunity here, the JackJumpers, and they go to McVeigh, who hands over for Weeks, harassed by Kadee. Shot clock, 12 Weeks is fouled, and he is off to the free throw line.
Well, Terrell Harrison, the shot clock running down. I mean, not even 10 seconds to go. He is 3 times the size of Jared Weeks. When he puts his hands in the air only 5 times, he just got to stand there straight up, let him shoot over the trees.
Calm down, everybody.
Let's go, Yellow, let's go.
Jared Weeks, 3 of 4 from the free throw line this season at 75%. And this to drag his team back to within 3.
It's been the story of the night for Tasmania. So many shots that they'll look back and say, if we knock down a couple more of these, this game will look completely different.
Wow.
Take up a bit of space.
And you mentioned it. I mean, this man is shooting 180% from 3 over the course of NBL23. Just 1 of 3 there.
If this is the worst that Tassie is, if this is their worst game, and they still in it, this is just a great fighting spirit by them. But Brisbane has got to really execute down the stretch to exercise their own demons.
So a little over a minute to play. Brisbane by 5, clinging to the lead that was as big as 13 earlier in this quarter. Sobey in traffic, not a lot happening there.
Great hustle from Milton Doyle.
Was.
Sobey exploring. I like the 1-4 flat. Put the ball in one of your best athletes' hand and let him make a decision.
Again, I think there's so much. They look back at the tape of this from the Bullets. They don't make enough contact on screens. When you've got some big bodies out there, Harry Froling, Aaron Baines, Sobey and Tyler Johnson, to really run guys into them and free their game up to get downhill, use their athleticism. Why don't they just try to pick and pop without setting the screen?
Just 4 of 12 from the field in this quarter, Brisbane, having time struggling to get the ball inbounds. Harrison, the offensive rebound. Good pressure from the JackJumpers. Harrison, travelling violation. They cough it up, and a chance now for the JackJumpers.
I'll tell you what, Case, Nathan Sobey was ready to launch that after the whistle and didn't. It's working.
It's working. So another opportunity here for the JackJumpers. Down by as many as 18 in the second, by 15 in the third, 13 here in the last, and they've shut it down to 5.
It's been a defensive slugfest, or it's just been a missed shot fest.
Tasmania are known for winning ugly. Just really just get down to it and grind down. They love a close game.
And the jet restarts for Doyle. 12 points in the game for Doyle. And from close range, really needed to do better there with the opportunity, and they can't get it done. And JackJumpers will get it.
So they're probably going to look at it, but I think it was initially the right call. They're going to have a look at it. But Milton Doyle, that's 2 in the last 2.5 minutes that he's just left in the hoop.
It just might be one of those days for Tassie. Duncan wants to challenge it, just get a sneaky timeout.
He doesn't have a challenge.
What are they doing?
They look at it under 2 minutes, I believe, to make sure they get the right call.
They have struggled at the offensive end here in this last quarter, Brisbane, after looking strong for the vast majority of this game. They still have to close it out. Remembering, they've won their last 2. In fact, after losing their first 5, and looking to make it 3 wins on the bounce.
Brisbane has still done enough. However this last 41 seconds plays out, Case, I still think that Brisbane has done enough to show Australia that they are not the same team. They have turned a corner. Whether that turn is going to be big enough to catch the other teams in the 6 remains to be seen, but I like at least the improvement they've made.
The current state of the Brisbane Bullets, what you're seeing right now, can they make the top 6?
I don't have them in my top 6 because it's that tough. They need to get a little better.
Well, they win here. They've got 3 wins. 4 wins has you in the 6.
Well, if they had Jalen Adams, do they make the top 6?
Pete knows something.
No, I don't. I'm just saying it might be a coincidence.
So Tasmania with possession. They've had opportunities and haven't been able to take them. Here's Doyle once more with a long 3. Off the mark. Well done, Kelly, with the offensive rebound, and he draws a foul on Harrison, so off to the free throw line.
That's a beautiful set from the JackJumpers, but the pass was just not on the money for Milton Doyle. He was open to turn the corner for a layup. Instead of the pass being put in front of him, they just threw it behind him, had to settle for a 3. And in the end, there wasn't a whole lot there on this call. It was a great offensive rebound by Rashard Kelly. Might have got away with a little push in the back, but in the end, it looked like it was probably all ball and might have been blocked by Aaron Baines' lower back.
First trip to the free throw line in the game for Kelly, who's 60% on the season, 15 of 25, not his strong suit.
Reverse curse.
Well, after a good free throw shooter in Jared Weeks missed a couple, maybe a bad free throw shooter in Kelly, or an average free throw shooter, I should say, can get it done.
Never looked like missing.
All righty.
Back to 3.
One stop here from the JackJumpers. This place is going to erupt. Oh my goodness.
Are you serious?
Are you joking me?
They get it back to within 1. The JackJumpers are closing, and Brisbane are getting stage fright here at the moment. Shot clock, 7 seconds inside the game clock. It's back to 1 the difference. Overtime beckons again, as it has both previous times that these teams have played here in Hobart. Johnson, Harrison, wanted the extra pass for Baines.
That's going to be Milton Doyle's night done, but that's not a bad foul. Baines gave away burgers his last trip to the free throw line. No easy buckets, and I'll tell you what, if you are going to foul, you make sure he doesn't get that ball up, because a 3-point play ends the game.
Tyler wanted no parts of that, made that extra pass. I thought it could have been a 3-second call. They got away with 1.
I think you're right. In there an awfully long time, but what was that out of bounds play? Either way, Josh Majette just giving some advice. Aaron Baines saying, just upgrade everybody to a double cheeseburger, would you?
Baines, 9 of 13 at 69% coming into this game.
Ooh, short.
Extends the margin. But even if he knocks this down, Tassie have got 11 seconds to get the 3-ball away and make it 3 out of 3 in terms of overtime between these teams in Hobart. And he's off.
Oh, boy.
Only needed 2.
Here we go.
Big play for the JackJumpers.
Go for the win at home.
Kelly puts it on the deck outside. McVeigh hasn't scored in the last quarter. Didn't get enough on the shot. And the Bullets are going to prevail.
Oh, my.
Well, a big 18-point lead evaporated to just 2, but Brisbane have got the job done. It's Brisbane 74, Tassie 72.
Jack McVeigh, he would take that shot every single day of the week, and you'd probably expect him to make it 9 times out of 10. Leaves it short, and the Bullets escape with 1.
Escaped. That is exactly what they did, because the wheels completely fell off the Bullet wagon those last couple of minutes, but they did enough to win. And JackJumpers only really played a half of basketball.
42-28 after half-time in favour of Tassie.
Well, again, they played as poorly as they could possibly play, shooting the ball. 24 of 70, 10 for 36 from the 3, and in the end they lose by 2, and probably unlucky not to be on to overtime.
Well, they had their chances, but in Jason Caddy's 350th game, Brisbane have now won 3 on the bounce as they get the better of the JackJumpers by just 2 points. Entertaining affair. It's always entertaining when these two teams clash. And Brisbane, oh, the great escape there at the end. Tasmania having so many opportunities and just not able to convert.
A lot of lessons to be learned in that game for both teams. Why Tassie got off to the start they did, that's what they'll be questioning themselves over, because that second half is who they are. And Brisbane got to ask themselves how they execute a little bit better down the stretch when things get a little tight. But it's always better to have those meetings after a win.
Well, it is, and you see Clint Steidl, the captain, he's just trying to rally the troops. As poorly as they play, they were still within a chance to win.
Tyler Johnson finishes with 13 points in the game. And they can smile now because that was a tough way to get a win, but a win's a win. 74-72 in favour of Brisbane. And the JackJumpers, as I mentioned, had their opportunities there and did a good job of it in the second half, but just dug so much of a hole for themselves. Couldn't get out of it completely.
That's the thing. And like I said, Brisbane is taking a step in the right direction with their team play. Their chemistry is a little bit better on the offensive end. They're not shooting themselves in the foot nowhere near as much as they used to at the start of the season, so they can hang on.
Let's go courtside for some reaction with the Foot Locker player of the game standing by with Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Aaron Baines with me. Bainesy, they really tested you in that second half. How did you get it done?
Oh, credit to the guards, you know. They were getting pressured. We put it on them. They got to get the ball over the half court and make the right play. And more often than not, they did enough to get us the right plays, and we were able to come up with some good rebounds defensively and just trying to make it tough for them. You know, they were making it tough for us, so we thought we'd return the favour.
You had us all on the edge of our seats in that last quarter, that's for sure. 3 wins on the trot for you guys. How important is that in terms of your season?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good thing. You know, it's three in a row, but we still, you know, we started with a few losses in a row, so we still got to get back to square. And you know, it's an internal focus for us right now. It's not good enough the second half, so a lot of room for improvement, but we'd definitely rather learn in victory than in defeat. So, you know, keep that win column ticking over.
And a significant night for Jason Cadee as well in his 350th. Can you describe his impact to the group?
Yeah, it was massive. You know, I think Soap said it before. He's never been with the Bullets, won a Milestone game and had a win. So we definitely all wanted to do it for Jace as much as the next guy. Oh, the guy next to us as well. So big one for Jace, and yeah, credit to his longevity, how he is as a team player and what he brings to the team night in, night out.
Well, congratulations on the win. Go and enjoy it with the guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Aaron Baines, our Foot Locker player of the game. He was big down the stretch, scored 8 of their 10 points in the last quarter. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Well, Tasmania against Brisbane never fails to entertain in a game which saw an absolute thriller here from Hobart, with the Tassie JackJumpers coming from 18 down in the second quarter to close to within 1 in the final term before Brisbane found a way for the great escape, Pete Hawley.
Well, that's exactly what it was. You can see Nathan Sobey there. He was devastated giving up the win. But in the end, it was a really good game, hotly contested.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.